If their back is against the wall, make another one, right? This is your home. He has the ancestral gift.
He does. And he's just going to go wild with his charges here.
Definitely. You're going to feel the power of nature. Ladies and gentlemen, puns aside, this is the draft for game number 1. Sad as it is, we have seen Onyx Philippines end up in this very same corner just a few days ago against Work Osterforce. Back-to-back games, Jay picked up the Grok to less than stellar results. So let's see how BMO of LPE here will help his team out. Again, the situation is dire. Stakes have never been higher. They need to sweep this. But against Oro Philippines, drafting this way, not looking great.
Arguably, though, this is looking at the individual aspect here. Not talking about aspect. We're in the individual aspects of each of the players here.
Of course.
These are their most successful heroes.
For both sides, I guess.
For both sides.
Yeah.
In this composition, though, if we're going to talk about a synergy, it looks as if LPH has the most amount of controls, the most amount of initiates for themselves. LPE, they can counter-initiate for the most part, but they can also choose to fight back. Grok, BMO, we saw his crazy flicker wild charge that just that brought the entire world to silence.
Yeah.
It was masterful. If we see that today, they should have a chance taking game number 1. But at the same time, we're looking at an Alice, we're looking at the Kagura, we're looking at the Ling. A lot of maneuverabilities there.
There's so much on the side of Oro Philippines that we have seen effectively work. It's just so hard to deny what the results might look like, given that week in, week out, we have seen these heroes might not be in the same configuration, but again, they have the reps. So as compared to LPE right now, they're looking for short of a miracle. They are looking for, again, leverage on each individual hero's skills, but allow me to present here an alternative. What if LPE just collapses onto 1 or 2 members of Oro Philippines? Just look for the value there. That might be a valid strategy.
If that's a strategy that they're going to go for, they can collapse on the Kagura, because as soon as Kagura decides to go for the yin-yang overturn, if they can force the yin-yang overturn and survive.
Philippines and LPE alone, that's what, at least 12 moms, 14 moms, coaches included. But that aside, we're going to go into the matchup. Game number 1. LPE versus Aura PH. The MPL Philippines Season 7 is under the supervision and regulation of the Games and Amusements Board. Looking at this matchup right here down the lanes, Nomad, I wonder if there's going to be a switch up between Ryota and Jake the Dog so that they can avoid that deadly Paquito into Raflesia matchup. No! It happens!
Nope. It's still going to happen. It's Benny Cutie versus Jake the Dog in the bottom lane. So the brawl is still pretty much real, and to be honest, I can't blame him. A mage versus mage lineup with a Chang-O versus an Alice, that's a good enough lineup that both of you can have a good time and at the same time bully your opponent. Speaking of bullying,
BMO here, about a quarter of his health left, gets blasted by Greed and JP. Left without a flicker, he spent it already. Now Raflesia in trouble. Ryota punching the dinosaur while he can. Now Arves might go down. First blood onto BMO already. He trades with JP. Double for the Ling. This is trouble. I mean, I think Oro Philippines can capitalize on this mess already in mid lane.
Yeah, that was trouble, and they made it double. The early lead that Lord Hades has because of those 2 kills will put him aggressively ahead of Aspect. Now, the case here is that LP needs to hang back a little bit. They don't want to force out the fights. JP is waiting for an opportunity to go for a Jeet Kundo to get a bully punch knock up there, or a kick for that matter, because he is the Cho. He just needs to look for that opportunity, and he can rely on Lord Hades to follow through with the damage. Speaking of follow-throughs,
Jake the Dog gonna taste the Tempest of Blades underneath his own turret. Damage reduction be damned, he will still fall. Nomad 3-1 so far. About 1,000 ahead, Oro Philippines. Maybe that whole gambit in mid is a little too much. Maybe it was too much for BMO and Arves to push themselves way past the turtle, way past the river as they go for this first turtle of the game. Great start here for LPE, but they're going to be punished by Raflesia. Arves able to put a few bits of damage onto Greed. He's at about 1/5 of his health. They're going to get away with it. unpunished with impunity. BMO looking for one. He smells blood. He sees JP. Oh, unleashes the power. Here's a concussive blast, passive, and nothing.
That was unfortunate for LPE. Considering the fact that Jake the Dog has not been joining the fights just yet, they cannot, for the life of them, secure the first turtle as well as the second turtle potentially. They have to draw out the game. That's what LPE needs to do here. Jake the Dog needs to go online. Arvs, even more so. They need to get those mages up. And speaking of up, he's up in the air.
Oh, Way of the Dragon, the full combo. JP gets it in. No response from LPE so far. Now they're going to go for round 2. This is going to be the turtle. Great placement by Ryota. And here's a diversion. Are they going to go in? No, they don't. They see that there's a full squad of Aura there. Aspect does get the Little Wanderer, but at what cost? Tempest of Blaze, he's going to get the Yusen Shin. Down he goes, but Jake the Dog has the artillery. They take one. It's a trade. Benny Cutie for Aspect. They are unable to finish these couple down here. Lord Hades and JP get away.
That is how LPE can fight back. If Jake the Dog joins in on the fight, good on the rotation from Jake the Dog, but very unfortunate on Aspect to try to steal away the Little Wanderer. He was already in a bad spot. He should have just backed off and regressed towards his own jungle so that he can still keep up with the gold. And now with his second death? Yeah, with his second death, he will be behind in EXP. He will be behind in gold.
Oh no, but here we go. Benny Cutie spraying down the meteor shower onto the target, and it took a while. That's a huge rotation, but nonetheless, Aspect secures the kill. Nomad, but at what cost? Check this out. The orange is going to go. Lord Hades. Oh, they're trading.
Yeah, they're trading, but JP's there to stop it. There goes the Way of the Dragon.
Onto Aspect, but there's no follow-through. JP might pay the price here. The iron price. His life. He steals away the orange. I'm sorry, Lord Hades, but you are going to get a kill here. Tempest of Blades in, out. Defense. Benny Cutie gonna go catch him. Oh, BMO playing the muscle. The Enforcer charges up for deterrence, and they back out.
They're getting outclassed in every aspect here in the game. It's a 2,000 gold lead for LPE, and that's just allowing Lord Hades to get a comfortable 6-0 lead. His items are now on point, and they can get a little bit of solace here for Aura that they take down Jake the Dog easily there as well. It's not looking good for them at all, man.
And I believe that last kill down bottom was the result of a small hiccup, by the way, which must be resolved at this point. And again, it resulted in a double.
It's spot on. They're not doing any errors for that matter. It's an 8-3 scoreline for themselves. LPE, in my honest opinion, has to play it as passive as possible and wait for their item spikes to kick in. That's when they can fight. Not now, not at this point in the game when they're being snowballed by LPH.
Yep, and as we speak, Benny Cutie, despite the 0, 2, and 3 Lion, he's just having a better time farming as compared to Jake the Dog. They are both rocking mystery shop, so that should be fine. But right here, as Aura Philippines jockeys for position, starting up the second turtle of the game, Lord Hades gonna secure this. He's so confident. Look at this. BMO isn't even gonna try. There you go. He's gonna jump in, flicker. What was that gonna result to? He's looking for an answer. Wild charge out. That's gonna be the knockout punch by Ryota, and they back out here as early as 6 minutes. Nomad, you see Jake the Dog expending Meteor Shower to clear waves.
Yeah, and that flicker by BMO is more of a last-ditch effort to try to steal the turtle wave, because he can charge up the power of nature to get that additional swing out of the way. But it was costly. Good thing that JP didn't have the Way of the Dragon or a GQ available to get himself knocked up. And we saw there that Ryota does not have any damage.
Oh, nice Shunpo into a Way of the Dragon. But let's see, can they capitalize? Jake the Dog caught out in no man's land. That was 4 members of Aura Philippines collapsing on him in that bush. And there's no response. In comes Lord Hades though, Tempest of Blades. He's low health. He uses the Bounty Hunter. He uses the Killing Spree, takes it in. Oh no, it equals to a 3 for none. Come on.
Yeah, at this point, it's... I don't know, I'm calling it right now. LPE's not really at their best form. They got their best heroes here in this composition, but we saw in that team fight how beautiful their coordination is from Aura PH. JP starts it off with a Shunpo to away the dragon. We immediately saw Benny Cutie rotate on towards the middle lane to get that a little bit more damage. Speaking of damage, oh my goodness.
Here's another goal. How about some round 2? Greed from the west goes for the flame shot, and they survive, but just barely.
That damage is uncalled for. Benny Cutie should be nerfed. But yeah, Benny Cutie is the primary damage dealer here for Aura PH, much so, more so than Lord Hades, because he gets that consistent damage output up, and Lord Hades just has to be bitten up.
Welcome, says Detona. Ryota survives though. There's not much damage between JP and Raflesia, but here comes Lord Hades. He's gonna finish what they started. Tempest of Blades down. Ryota gets knocked out from the backline. Greed with the full combo taken out Arvs, but there's a punish by Aspect. A shutdown by Aspect. The Yusenshin gets a double. It ends up with a trade.
It's a 2-for-3 trade. Not bad. LP starting to fight back. And that they have to capitalize on Jake the Dog's positioning here. Jake the Dog can only throw the Meteor Shower in one direction, and they need to position themselves towards that area as JP will go for the kill.
Where the dragon misses the mark, there's not much follow through, and JP gonna get shut down. Arvs gets him. Nomad, they're 5k down, but it looks like LPE has found their second wind.
They have, and I just saw BMO go for the wild charge while JP was mid-air going for the Jeet Kune Do.
It's like
not the Jeet Kune Do, but the Wave the Dragon.
It's like JP. Yeah,
he caught him mid-air.
That whole interaction, did it stop the Wave the Dragon?
He got hit into the wall though.
So okay, so all right, we're learning things.
Or maybe he just didn't push through with the second movement. It was, you know, going backwards to proc the passive.
Yeah,
maybe
actually,
that was the case.
No, as soon as JP landed, he couldn't move. So that must have been residual damage, residual stun, which allowed Arvs to finish the job. Again, this is a mechanically intricate matchup as it is, and LP is just starting to warm up.
Just starting to warm up. A bit too late, but a warm-up is a warm-up. I said it earlier that I was calling it that LP wasn't really in their top form, but they decided to prove me wrong, and they're doing one hell of a good job proving me on that fact. Because of the fact that they are picking off the target.
Benny! From the back lines, Jake the Dog with a last-ditch effort. Arvs gets punished, but so does Lord Hades. It's a 2-for-1.
And they're going to push for the aggression here. They will potentially try to get Greed and JP here, and Ryota needs to find an opportunity.
A little too dangerous. There's the deterrence. There's the Mountain Shocker pushing back the remaining members of Aura Philippines. They gotta put respect on Jake the Dog. He's building up quite the arsenal. And Ryota dodging JP with the Way of the Dragon on to Aspect. He gets the hell out of dodge. Is he gonna survive? The answer is no. Raflesia says stay down.
And down you go, but that was still a very impactful trade for LPE. They got, I'd say they got value off of that trade because the gap that they originally had is now diminishing, so to speak. It's a 3,000 gold lead for Aura PH, and this Lord is important, and they can challenge the Lord with the current items that they have. Current skill set that they have right now, they can challenge the Lord themselves, and they're not in good position.
Let's see, can BMO get it though? Oh, small window, and BMO doesn't. He misses out. He gets punished. Gets destroyed by 4 members of Aura Philippines. But again, Nomad, would you have made that call? Was that something that you would have forced? Because I think for BMO, honestly, I think it's fine. He is rocking pull yourself together.
Yeah, he is rocking pull yourself together, but that's still 12 seconds that he's out of the fight, though.
Yes.
That's the case. And he expended Flicker. That's a 2-minute cooldown on him, as well as a wild charge to try to get a knock-up in order to steal it. It's not worth the investment for that. That could have just been... if he was going to commit, his teammates should have been back off. BMO on that Lord Pit area could have just backed off himself and then just wait for the moment that Aura's gonna push up, because the way that Aura pushes the game, or the lanes, is that they get the Lord pushing in one lane, they ignore it completely. There's at least one guy that's gonna follow through with the Lord. They can just go to the other lanes that are a little bit weaker, like the Ling and the Alice on the top lane. They can burst them out. That's already damage output out for Aura PH, and LPE cannot. did not do that because
Yeah.
they lost BMO in the process.
Yeah, it's so hard to respond with this kind of situation. Aura Philippines is knocking, and you know what? Short to say, they might have a key to the door. This is mid and bottom lane getting pushed in. They are going to be able to quell the Lord. Up top, there's also some trouble. That's going to be the bottom lane turret. Oh, they're going to knock up. One, JP gets hit by the wild charge. Jake the dog at less than a quarter of his health, maybe even a fifth. And now they're looking for a rotation. And just like that, Aura Philippines gets what they want. That's going to be the bottom lane turret. And of course, they reset, stealing Aspect's purple.
And that was majority of the ultimates down for LPE as well, expended just to try to save that bottom lane inhibitor turret. It's not the best of trades, but they managed to survive nonetheless. At least they backed off. I like the survivability of Jake the Dog there. The Yin Yang overturn, I swore, could have just killed him right then and there.
Devastating.
My goodness. And as the game progresses, if LPE just keeps playing this pace, they will no longer have any inhibitor turrets. They will no longer have any bases for themselves. I said it during the draft that the composition of LPE is a counter-initiate type of composition. They have to take initiative now. They have to force the pickoffs in order for them to at least get to the tier 2 turrets, at least get the next Lord.
Yeah, but again, the nature of what your lineup does goes against what the current game state requires. So I can only imagine how difficult this must be for LPE. They know the right thing to do, but they're just not completely armed to do that. Here's a ray of hope for LPE. They do have Mountain Shocker, so there's relatively no surprises as long as that ult is on cooldown. They're able to see exactly where Aura Philippines might be planning to go for a pickoff. And right now, BMO spotted by 3 here. JP, Benny Cutie, and Lord Hades have malicious intent. They want to take down this Grok, but BMO, he's done this! Established in Season 4! He used it with a choke, but this time around it's with a Grok! Flicker already expended, he's wasted so much time! And Aura Philippines, they know what's up. They know better than to bite.
Yeah, good on BMO. He did not force out any ultimates. He just bought a lot of time for LPE to equalize, normalize, or equilibriumize, if that's a word.
Equilibrize?
Equilibrium. They just tried to get the game state back to normal, at least have the equilibrium of the waves pushing towards the side of Aura-PH so that they can have a little bit of a breather.
Draw it out.
To draw it out as fast as they can, because there is a 20 seconds until the next Lord. It's a Luminous Lord. It's an important Lord for LPE, and if they cannot secure that Lord, it may just be GG. And judging by the positioning that LPE has here, Aura-PH, they have far superior positioning because they're already collapsing themselves towards the Lord. Thing here is that Paquito Ryota is in the bottom lane busy with the wave. I think the call is for LPE to group up together. I think a fight might just break out in the field.
Yep, they have to contest this. I completely agree, Nomad. This Luminous Lord here for LPE is paramount. For Aura Philippines, this is theirs to lose. The contest is even up in the air. But right now, given that all ults are up, save for Ryota's knockout punch, that could go off cooldown just in time. I'm looking for a great diversion. It's got to be the diversion. Look, they're doing the diversion bush up top.
Yeah, they're hiding. We're waiting for an opportunity.
Where are they going to place it? Where are they going to place it?
Lord's going to get reset. They have to fear Lord Hades here because he can split push at any time.
Oh!
They spot Jake the Dog, though.
Flicker used by Arvs already, and they push back LPE. It's just the threat of the engagement that allows Aura Philippines to force him back in. There's a Mountain Shocker. BMO draws the ire of 4 members of Aura Philippines. Now here comes the diversion. It's just Ryota. Who can he knock up? But Raflesia knows. Raflesia had priority. The Dragon onto Aspect with a knockup. Green gets the kill. That's already -1, -2, and not many hits onto the Meteor Shower, and this might prove lethal for LPE. Ryota gets picked off. BMO and Jake the Dog, the only ones left. And BMO can pull the same trick, Nomad. He can pull the same trick, but Aura Philippines might have had it.
Yeah, they're not going to give BMO any opportunities to try to go for the seal, and that's already wild chart expended as well. Jake the Dog right now is the ace that LPE has in order to try to delay the impending doom that's going to march on towards the bottom lane in a few minutes.
Relatively no contest here. Actually, absolutely no contest here for LPE. Two Lords have gone to the side of Aura Philippines in this 17-minute matchup. And yeah, LPE will respawn in time, but no matter what's the defense plan here, what can LPE do to mitigate the damage and to even try to stay in the game, survive, because this last push might be, again, this next push might be the last.
They have to shove the lanes to a safe spot, shove it right down the middle of the map.
Shove it!
And then try to catch the Lord. And then try to not get picked off by Aura PH. We're reaching the 18-minute mark of the game. The death timers are about to become very problematic if LPE gets picked off. And
astronomical numbers.
Astronomical indeed. And if Aura picks off Jake the Dog, that's the win. Because Jake the Dog is the only reliable source of wave clear for them with the Meteor Shower. And speaking of which, the fight might just break through.
Here it is, Jake the Dog expending the Meteor Shower to fight Lord down bottom. Top and mid lanes are the targets for Aura Philippines. Let's see, Ryota punch onto 2, but is that enough? Where's the damage, LPE? Where are they going to place those ults? Arvs still has a nice diversion, but what for? Where can they place the CC, JP? Just move it in and out. Misses that last one. Way of the Dragon! Was that a fake out? They blast the Paquito!
Oh.
They do trade for greed. Here's the Meteor Shower. Targets bound, but they're already in the base. All turrets down. Lost for LPE. Only the base stands, but they do trade out for greed.
They get greed in the process, but they have 40 seconds to normalize the entire game, and I don't think it's going to happen here. They push out, base is wide open, all 3 lanes are pushed forward, and they're focusing all their attention onto mid. That's not the best call for LPE at this point. They have to push out the top lane, they have to push out the bottom lane, just so that they can have that semblance of peace, that solace that Lord Hades has to choose the top or the bottom lane to push out. There's a lot of things that LPE needs to do here to stabilize. It's hard, man.
It's difficult. That is an understatement. Whatever the next word after that, in the degree of how just dire it is for LPE, that might be it, given, again, how much more mobile Aura Philippines is. But I love how LPE is still presenting an alternative, how LPE is still throwing punches despite how gassed and how beat up they are in this 19-minute matchup. Ladies and gentlemen, BMO, look at this. In the middle of what? 4 members. He's getting sandwiched, but he still has no fear.
Oh, he's going to try to cut. The damage output from Lord Hades alone is deterring BMO to go down. If BMO dies down in the 20-minute mark, that's deadly.
No! Oh, no, it's looking... Oh, no!
Oh, the Chachas.
The Chachas, I'd say he should die right here. He should just take it right now.
No, he's fighting.
No, but LP knows that if he gets killed at the 20-minute mark, it'll be worse. Look, see? That's exactly what's going on. All right, don't do it yet. Don't do it yet. Don't do it yet.
Now.
And now you can.
And that is 53 seconds that BMO is out of the fight. No wild charges available. Smart call by Aura.
Pull yourself together. Still in effect, but that's still a minute. That's about a minute that you're not there. And this is such a pivotal minute. It's a monumental minute. It's a very... all the words.
It's a hot minute. No, that isn't how it works.
No, not really. But again, Aura Philippines, they know that they did that kill. And they took that kill at the right moment. Greed from the backlines, throw in the same umbrella. Jake the Dog, they know that he doesn't have the Meteor Shower. They're going to collapse onto this base. Just target lock onto the turret. Aura Philippines takes game number 1. Gotta give it up to LPE though. They did their best, but nonetheless, the 2-time world champions will reign victorious. This winning moment is brought to you by Oppo A94. Live life at full speed. Nomad 1-0. Is there what else is left in the LPE's tank?